Hello, this is just sort of for the record. It's just this is just sort of a little thing I'm recording for the record in case somebody's watching this in the future. I figured I would just give a little bit of a preface to the recording that you're about to listen to because it's very bad for a number of reasons. So for situations that we discuss in the pod, Zach, we ended up not recording this episode in the studio, and as a result, we recorded at a local park. We recorded the audio on 2 lav mics, but unfortunately, I don't know what the deal was, but there was some issue with Zach's lav mic, and it did not record his audio separately, which sort of creates a bit of a problem. My audio was enough to, you can listen to my audio and basically get a rough idea of what was going on. You can still hear Zach talking. He's just much quieter than I am, which sort of is bad. That's sort of a bad thing. It's not really, you're supposed to not do that. But if I was to raise the level of his voice, it would also raise the level of the background while he was talking. And the issue with that is, of course, that it would just sound quite bad. So the question was whether or not I could go in there, edit his voice to be louder, and have it sound like shit, or if I could just leave it as it is and it sound like shit. And ultimately, I went the route of least resistance. So that's what you're going to be listening to today. I mean, you should just listen to it. It's quite bad. I'm peeking the whole way through. So just listen to it. And if you can bear to hear that, then I guess you can continue on. Have a good day. I'll see you later in the next video. Okay, I've restarted.
Alright, so I lost half an hour of footage.
Sort of, you can hear the cars right now. Imagine this, but a little bit louder. And you have what we lost.
We can only move forward, I guess.
Yeah.
So, well, we talked about how we watched Venom.
Well, let's just quickly, let's sort of explain our situation.
Yes.
So, well, wow, you sure do sound not the same that you did before in the other episodes. You sure do sound like you're recording this on much worse. On significantly worse microphones. That's what you sound like right now. That might be what you're saying to yourself.
And also on the side of the street.
Yeah.
But, if you could guess, we are actually outside.
Yeah, we're outside. We're not outside, actually. We're still in the studio. We're just this is an avant-garde art thing.
Yes.
So we've recorded audio of various parts while we're walking through a park. That also is right by the street for part of it.
And we've decided what better way to give our audience the best experience than to do something like this.
Yeah.
But the real reason that this is happening too is because I thought I was sick. I'm not sick, so... But it's also nice to just come out here on a beautiful day and walk around.
Yeah, smell the flowers.
Yes, I'm sure the audience can smell it. It smells really nice.
Yes. The Christmas lights are out.
Yes.
They've been out for like a month.
Yes, they came out like the middle of the summer, and I was like, that's impressive.
It was like September, I think.
Yeah.
They put up the Christmas lights in the park. There's a big Christmas light show. And yeah, all the Christmas lights are out.
Exactly. I know that for me at work, we had Halloween costumes maybe in like July. And now that it's actually October, we don't carry them anymore. And we just have a bunch of Christmas stuff. And I get to talk to angry customers all the time. But
they hate Christmas. A real bunch of Scrooges.
Everybody here's a Grinch.
A nibba Grinch.
But, other than that, we talked about why I was not able to record podcasts, and that's because earth-shattering scenarios
God does not want this podcast to happen.
No, it seems as though
the government, the deep state, they're sort of interfering.
They're using weather machines
They're
to
stepping
send tornadoes to my house.
There's weather machines to send ice storms, send rock storms, send earth storms, send leaf storms. Worm storms, sandstorms, worms in the sandstorms.
It was very rough, but we've finally been able to get through all of the hardships to make it here.
Yes, in a park.
Yes.
Because Zach's girlfriend probably has the flu.
Yes, and I don't want to spread it to my good partner Wilson.
Yeah. As we have one microphone at the studio thing, and we both put our whole mouths around it to talk.
It's rather amazing.
Yes, it's very easy to transfer bacteria.
But we also talked about Venom.
Yeah, we were talking about Venom. Similarly to how Zach's girlfriend has been injected with some sort of venom by the deep state to sort of make her sick to try to incapacitate Zach.
Yes.
So he can't do anything. So he can't record his podcast where he speaks the truth.
Exactly.
We speak the truth very similarly to the podcast that Millie Bobby Brown listens to in the most recent Godzilla film. Yeah. It was in the same vein as that, basically. Exactly. That's us.
However, I don't know. I feel like I've already exhausted my brain with Venom.
Yeah.
Because as me and Wilson were talking about before we realized the podcast was cut, it's not that fun.
Yeah.
It's honestly just a very boring film.
Yeah, I would say, I'm trying to, it's really hard for me to even think of, anything that was said that happened in the movie that was even, entertaining. Yeah. It really, you just lose all of it almost immediately.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like, what I guess I did was, instead of watching the movie for it being good, it was more of what else can they pull out of their ass to make it worse?
Yeah, in what way could they make this epic in the vein of Free Guy? And they had very little cards. They had very few cards up there. They must have had tiny little arms because they couldn't fit nothing up their sleeves.
Yeah, it was rather disappointing. I didn't.
Yeah, my girlfriend was talking about oh, it looks really bad because she saw the clip of Venom in the nightclub.
Yeah. And
in the Pulse nightclub. Venom in the Pulse nightclub. He gets shot to death.
Yeah.
But it's not it is quite bad.
Yeah.
It was not fun. Free Guy was fun. Free Guy, I was smiling and clapping along. Oh, I was along for the ride. It was also great because we were the only people in there.
Yeah.
And that was a good experience to watch the movie in that state.
Yes.
This was not the case for Venom.
No, with Venom you had a bunch of your typical Venom fans.
Typical Venom heads.
Yes, which we cannot hate on the Venom heads because they do have they have bullish brains.
Yeah, they do. They're it takes a lot of intelligence to enjoy a bad movie.
Exactly. However, I don't know. I just didn't like people waddling around as I was trying to get into my movie.
trying to zone in.
Yes.
Onto trying to really analyze this.
Yeah.
It's a film that actively resists any sort of analysis, and that's what that challenge is what makes it worthwhile.
Yes.
But yeah, it basically just wherever Free Guy was good, Venom was not as good.
Exactly.
Free Guy had so many Free Guy had so many moments that I just wanted to. I was so excited for watching Free Guy at some points. I did want to clap.
Yes.
I wanted to snap, crackle, and clap.
Yes.
Oh, there's a pump jack. A lovely pump jack in our local park.
Yes.
Can you smell the oil?
Yes. I wonder how much stronger it gets the closer we walk towards it.
Yeah. I mean, you could just walk right up to it pretty much.
It's there's a chain link fence, and then that's it protecting it.
Oh no, sure, there is a chain link fence, but it's not closed.
Oh really?
You could just walk up to it. Well, I guess there's a chain link fence directly around the pump jack itself.
Yeah.
But there's not that area is not at all locked off.
That's amazing.
It's super easy to just go up. I mean, I don't I don't know. Somebody should. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, with climate change, there is somewhat of a moral obligation to do something, right?
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't advocate that anybody do anything radical, but I am saying that, I don't know, maybe you should blow up oil infrastructure. Maybe blow up pump. Yeah, I don't. Maybe that would solve some problems.
It'd just be a little like a band-aid for the problem,
Yeah.
I remember there was like, whenever I was a small child in school, we had to watch a video, and it's like, if you see a pump jack, it's not a skateboarding rink. And then like,
Yeah.
there's like kids like skateboarding.
It's like
down
weird because like they would show all these videos and stuff. Like there'd be ads on TV. And they'd be like, "Don't ride it like a horse."
Yeah.
It's like, what? We don't live out in like we have like the internet. So like we don't live out in the middle of like the country where the pump jack is the closest thing that we have to a fucking movie theater within 1,000 miles. Like
I'm bored.
You guys want to go horse around at the pump jack?
Man, I got this skateboard. I think it'd be pretty nice to do a little bit of a trick on.
They'd be like, "Hey guys, don't shoot the pump jack. It will explode."
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, thanks for letting me know that. I was thinking about going and exploding a pump jack and shooting it and blowing it up. I was thinking about getting on top of it and riding it like a horse, which is something I heard multiple times. It's like, what even is there to play? Like, I guess riding the horse is probably kind of fun.
I don't know. As we approach this pump jack, it sounds kind of alarming. Like, if I was a child and I heard this, you'll be able to hear it as we get.
Whoa, that bird is like, doesn't care. Whoa.
Sidetrack. We're gonna follow this bird.
We're gonna see where this bird was taking us.
The fucking snake comes out and eats it.
What a weird little bird.
Yeah,
It's just like,
he does not fear us.
I mean, he probably would. He'd probably fly off. I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he's got like some sort of degenerative brain disease.
Maybe he has to poo.
Yeah.
Can't fly.
You can let out, little bud. We won't stick around and watch you poo.
Yeah.
They'll leave him to the fucking animals. Somebody's gonna kick that bird and kill it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
It is what needs to be done.
Yeah, so now we're about... Oh, there's all those little flies.
Ugh.
Those little tiny ones. I hate them. There's two pump jacks right next to each other. Only one of them is on.
Yeah.
This is sort of a tour day, Oklahoma. Basically, every public park you're gonna have something like this.
Something that's generating money.
Yeah, it's generating lots of cool things. It looks quite good.
Yeah.
Whenever I see this, I'm reminded just of how much cooler pump jacks are than trees.
Yeah.
I would much rather this be here than like a tree.
Yeah.
That
wheel that's spinning just a little too fast, it looks like it's about to fly off.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it just fall right off.
I am impressed.
I mean, looking at it, it looks like it would be fun to ride like a pony.
I mean,
it looks like it would be fun to ride around like a pony.
I mean, there's literally a ladder there. It's just begging
It's
us.
just begging for a child to ride it.
Yeah, but this is a testament to man.
Yeah. This is what we've managed to accomplish. We've tamed the planet, basically, is what this is. We're taking fucking power back for ourselves. That's what I think about Earth. I just threw a big stick, about 300-pound stick. I just took it and I threw it.
I was impressed.
Yes, I know. Naturally.
So, we also, in our absence, we watched another movie. That movie being Candyman, the new Candyman. That I think it was produced by.
I think it was directed by. Was it not directed by Peele?
I think it was directed by someone else.
I mean,
but he was like a lead writer.
It looks quite a bit like his movies.
Yeah. I don't know. I was pretty sure that the director was someone else. I'd have to go.
I mean, maybe it is. It might be.
Yeah. But that movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't, because I've never seen the first Candyman. I just
I've seen the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it's like, I mean, like, I guess I don't really mind them recasting the guy as a black guy.
Yeah.
That's okay. I guess I'm okay with it. It's just sort of weird the direction that they went with him.
Yeah,
it's like I always thought of him as sort of a cheery guy, giving kids candy, but I guess now he's maybe it's kind of racist, honestly, that they turned him black and had him start killing people. Like, I don't know.
I know. I liked the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good. It was significantly better than Venom.
Yeah,
Similar kind of movie, basically.
exactly.
Yeah, sort of the main character, I forget his name, is sort of to Candyman as Eddie Brock is to Venom.
Yes.
Where they have sort of this relationship.
With their powers.
They have this like coded gay relationship with each other.
Yeah.
And you know, that's sort of the crux of the film.
Yes, indeed. I remember whenever I went home from it, me and Cynthia talked about it, and she said that it went by too fast. And I was gonna say I have to agree with her. But,
Yeah.
Because she said like the transition from, well, spoilers of course, the transition from him to Candyman, we didn't get to see it.
Like him being like a regular dude, well, the movie like changes perspectives halfway through, sort of.
Yeah.
Where it is from the main guy, the guy from Moonlight,
Yes.
and it's from like his perspective in the first half, and then the second half it's sort of from, I don't know whose perspective really. I guess his wife or girlfriend.
I think it's his wife.
Yeah, I think probably. Yeah, it switches from like his perspective to his wife's, basically.
Yes.
Is how I would describe it.
Which, I mean, I had no problem with it switching like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, neither of them I think are like fully developed.
No, because I checked the runtime and it was an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was very short. I was like kind of surprised whenever I saw that it was that
I was
short.
like, oh, it's over. You know?
Yeah.
But
I think that the original one was longer. It seemed like just the vibe that I get from the original, which I haven't seen, but just what I assume is that it was like a longer, very atmospheric thing. There were some. I think the worst part of it was the art critic, the art guy who dies.
Yeah.
And he goes like, "Must go faster, must go faster."
Yeah. It was
That's what he says as he's running away from Candyman, which is just a funny thing to say.
It was pretty just. I don't know. It kind of felt like they needed just a person to hate on, but at the same time, it kind of just went well.
Yeah, I feel like I would. I don't know. I think that there's almost some degree of value in watching it without seeing the original one first.
Yeah.
Because within the context of this, movie, the original takes place of like the sort of folk tale around it.
Exactly.
And so maybe not knowing specifically exactly what happened in that one might in some way enhance the experience of this one.
Yeah, because.
But I don't know because I haven't seen the original one still.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a pretty solid movie. I did like it.
I don't.
Kind of just like I'm sorry, but it's it was basically. I don't know.
It's sort of like a Black Panther-esque experience. It was sort of like Black Panther, Medea, sort of like that combination.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not really prepared to like go into, like I haven't really like analyzed it that much.
Yeah, and then seeing how it's been like 2 or 3 weeks ago from watching it.
Yeah.
It's not very fresh on my mind, so I can't.
I mean, like a lot of the stuff there's like a lot of stuff very overtly said.
Yes.
Because obviously the characters are black, and so black liberal sort of people who would obviously be like politically involved.
Yes.
And so they're talking about that a lot throughout the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I don't necessarily know all of the commentary and stuff that it's making.
I don't know. For me, what I kind of saw it as was I think the first half was kind of showing is explaining how like black culture has kind of become like the thing that white people want to attain. Because as his paintings were being made, I don't think they were trying to attain black culture. I think they were acting like black culture is unnecessary, or it's kind of like stigmatized.
I mean, I think that it's like this treatment of it as like derivative.
Yeah.
Because like that was the critique almost, and like it's which is obviously a weird critique to make about like ongoing and continuous issues. And so it's like, oh well, there's been so much art about it that what else is there to say?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that like I mean, I don't know that it, like really would undercut its purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like if you stop making art about that thing because it's already been expressed before, then you're just sort of giving it up.
Yeah.
Almost. It's like as if that's the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The point of it is I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to describe something, but
yeah.
I'm not like I haven't thought about it enough.
I mean, the other thing too about it was they literally, I don't remember who said it, but one of the characters were like, yeah, people don't care about black people until something bad happens to them, and then they'll act like they care, but they won't actively go out of their way to help you even when you're not in a good place,
Yeah. I mean, and that sort of, because like I guess even in like the discussion with like the art being derivative, like that sort of fits into that in a way where like it's about, I think it might be about how white people engage with well, to some extent obviously, like that element of it, like I think is partially about how white people engage with black art.
Yeah, exactly. But
explicitly like political black art.
Yeah, there's like no real, if it was something normal they wouldn't care about it, but if it was something that was like related to that, then they would make a deal about it and explain it as a masterpiece. Because like all of his art that like won awards and was very popular was like all of his politically charged things.
Well, I mean, it's all politically charged, and but like again, like it is like it's this cycle of like these issues are like it's in vogue to care about them, and then it's not, and so it's like I guess talking about that sort of political tendency, especially now, to adopt these beliefs and stuff as an aesthetic. It's an artistic style, like that's what it's an artistic statement. It's not so much a actual statement about things that you want to change, like it's an artistic and aesthetic statement. It's like changing the style of clothing that you have.
Yeah, exactly.
And so in that way it's, I guess, about the way people consume politics now.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's obviously the only part.
Yeah. But I feel like the second half was more of like, it was more of like a call to like stop letting white people be like that, or like I guess like racist people use your, it's kind of saying like use fears that we have like as like the black community, and use it against white people now, because like that's what it was at the end of the movie, Candyman is created, but instead of him just terrorizing like the community around him, he killed a bunch of police officers that were being racist and mean. So
it got kind of cheesily at one point when the guy's like, well, you're not gonna well, that story's not gonna go over so well.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever. Like, maybe the story will change if you do. I mean, but I guess it's an efficient way to communicate it. It just, like, sometimes Jordan Peele has this thing where, like, it feels like sometimes he's, like, going sort of a naturalistic route with the way that he's writing characters, and then sometimes to not.
Yeah, I saw that, too.
I suppose it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, that's a very small moment that sort of, like, plucked at, like, my suspension of disbelief a little bit.
But all in all, I thought it was a pretty good film.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I don't know to what extent, like, because, like, there's some degree to where, like, I might be implanting things on this, but there's obviously, like, this pretty significant distinction between the main character, who's, like, clearly this upper middle, upper class black guy, and this contrast between, like, the setting where the main characters exist within in this movie and where they existed within the previous movie where there's a bunch of people in poverty. And, you know, he's, in a way, like, he is kind of exploiting that.
Yeah.
He's exploiting, like where he's going to this place to create these pictures to use to make his art,
Better.
you know.
It was,
But I don't have, like, a fully fleshed out analysis that way.
yeah, I'd have to be quite
And I
honest,
also don't want to, like, I don't want to, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's weird to sort of critique that,
yeah,
like, as a white guy.
yeah, you kind of, you have to understand our boundaries.
Yeah.
It's fine. But,
Yeah, which is the same sort of thing with Venom. Like, you don't want to,
you don't want to overstep your boundaries because
yeah.
you never know.
If
who
you're
you-
not a member of the LGBTQ community, I'm sorry that there is a limit to what you can talk about
yeah,
concerning Venom
maybe it
or
was a
Carnage or those
sign-
characters.
Yeah, maybe it was a sign that we don't have all that footage of talking about Venom anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're basically we're alpha male chads
Yes.
who constantly just exuding heterosexuality.
Yes. So, it is what it is.
Zach,
Yeah.
it's sort of the cherry on top is your iconic, and this is really an iconic sort of Zach move. Your iconic, you know, appropriation of an African American vernacular.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
In order to sort of increase your clout levels.
Yes,
right.
make me not be in an uncomfortable situation. What's wrong with me? I do apologize.
I don't think it mattered. It's just
Yeah.
funny in that context.
Indeed. But we almost walked entirely around this park. Why
Yeah.
do we have this whole other going that way part?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we did last time, too, I believe.
Yes.
We walked the time that did not get recorded at all.
I
This-
mean,
It's like a timed walk almost.
exactly. I have that half of the footage. But at that time, it was like
Yeah.
in the summer right before the election, and that's kind of all we talked about.
Yeah, also, like, I didn't have my half,
Yeah.
which was the problem. And I don't think it was good enough to, like, I think it's good that we messed up on that one at
Yeah.
least.
But I have to constantly keep checking if the recording is still going.
Yeah,
or not.
it makes you paranoid. Whereas
Yeah.
the one in there, you can, it's like on a monitor, and you know nothing's getting fucked with on the
Yeah,
monitor,
exactly.
and you could just look over, like, oh, if there was something fucked up, it would just be on the monitor.
Yep.
And there's no way that would accidentally happen unless the computer like crashed somehow
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, for sure.
Now we saw Venom with Michael, but Michael is sort of flaky,
Yeah.
and Michael is perhaps flaky in sort of a different way. Just like very last minute a lot of
Really?
the time. Yeah, which is weird because I don't normally like organize stuff with him because I was trying to get him on the pod, but it would be I don't think I have a third live. Like I'd probably do somewhere, but I couldn't find a third live mic even if he did.
I just know that's kind of how I felt because like every time I had one of those reasons of not being there, I was like, man, there was probably gonna be a time where I ask him like, wait, not this time, maybe next week, and then he'll be like, don't worry about it, we're done. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Well, I don't think Michael cares that much about the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'll still hang out with him if
Spider web.
that was there's a spider on me
Oh really?
somewhere.
Damn.
Can you see? Can you see if it's on my face real quick?
Oh no, it's on your face.
Okay, then I guess it's somewhere else on my body.
Yeah. But,
So, you know.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, I guess another thing in my life. So, I guess I ought to let you know now, a week in advance. Next Wednesday is my birthday,
Oh, cool.
and I will be out of town
That's
for
cool.
like a few days.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because I have to go see my family and everything. So, but one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going hunting for the first time in my life.
Yeah, you were talking about that, and I think the last
Yes.
getting your bow and arrow.
I got a bow, And sheesh, it was $500 fucking dollars.
What?
And
Happy birthday, Zach.
yes, thank you.
Buy a $500
Well,
bow.
because they were like, my family was like, yes, Zach, you have to get a bow. And I was like, I don't know where to start. So I just like went to like Bass Pro Shops or Academy. But the thing about those places is they don't have any left-handed bows, which is what I need.
Mhm.
So
Zach is sort of demented. Like his mom was sinned while he was in her womb, so God made him left-handed.
yeah, it was quite unfortunate. But another thing about it was, Jesus. They needed me to pay for it, I guess. Or they wanted me to look for it, and I didn't know. So they were like, here, Zach, there's this really nice one for $500. And I was like, there's no way that I can afford this.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh. And then I guess we'll pay for it. So that's what they did.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But I was like,
That would be so much for a bow that you're probably not going to use that
yeah,
much. That you might use like a few times.
exactly. Because
Like-
I was trying to find like a really cheap one.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, Zach, they're like $300. And I was like, fuck. And then they were like, here's this really, like the top of the line for $500, and it's yours, Zach. And I was like, I can't afford to buy that.
It's
know?
yours if you buy it with your money.
Yeah. And so I was like,
That's everybody's collective Christmas present.
Yeah.
I mean, both. It's everybody's collective Christmas / birthday present to you.
yeah. So, but I got it. I had to go all the way out to like the middle of the country, and like I stopped at this gas station, and I was sitting there, and I got this guy's number, and I called him, and I was like, hello, I'm at the gas station. And he's like, are you in the red Jeep? And I was like, yes. So I got out, and he wasn't there. And I was like, where's this man? And I looked everywhere for him, and he was just not there. And then he pulled up. So that means this guy was at his house watching me, just staring at me. And I was like, that's interesting. But I got the bow. It was a very large man. He was like, this is a nice bow. Have you ever fired one before? And I was like, yeah, when I was like a kid. And he was like, okay, that means I don't have to tell you to not dry fire it, which is like, if you have a bow and you like just pull the string back and let it go, it will destroy it because it has no way to release the energy through the arrow.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, it's kind of basic to not do that, I guess. Like, I've never once in my life thought that's a good idea.
I would definitely do that. As of one of the first things I would do.
Yeah,
Just absolutely destroy it.
just to completely shatter into a million pieces. So, but they made me pay for it for now, and then on my birthday they're gonna pay me back. And I'm just like, I'm out $500 and I have like no money right now. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Zach, we
sucks.
figured that instead of paying you, we would give you 3 Bass Pro Shop gift cards.
Yes. So now you can spend more money on it.
Yeah, so
Your
now
bow.
you can get your bow oil and more arrows than you can shoot a bow at.
It is. Which I am kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
Because I like going out into like the woods and like just sitting around.
Just looking for people.
Yes.
Hunting the most dangerous game. The most
But-
dangerous game is Free Guy.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen the new Stroke Squid Game on Netflix?
No,
No?
I haven't. I've only seen that. I've only seen, I don't know, like just bits of stuff.
Yeah. Me and Cynthia watched it like when it came out. Because me and Cynthia, she really likes Korean dramas and stuff.
Yeah.
So we kind of keep on top of them. So we watched it together and everything. It's pretty good. I liked it a lot. But it's being blown way out of proportion. But then again, that just makes me sound like one of those guys like, I liked Squid Game before it was cool. And I just look like a huge fucking dipshit.
I love Squid Game. It's like it's like they brought the anime characters to real life.
But
There's a whole. Did you know there are whole countries full of anime people?
wow. But it was pretty good.
Yeah. I just don't watch a lot of shows.
Yeah. That's me too. I like watching movies simply because I could watch it once and get everything out of the story. As much I like getting all of it in one package rather than
Yeah, it's nice. A lot of times shows are sort of stretched out.
Yeah. Another show that I watched was, I guess this was an actual movie I watched. Last night, I watched The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh yeah,
Have
the
you ever
old
seen
one?
that?
Or
I didn't
the
watch
new
the old
epic
one. I watched
one?
the new one
Yeah,
with
it's
Keanu
epic.
Reeves as the alien.
It's been quite a while.
Yes. Do you need to use the
Yes, I
bathroom?
gotta pee.
Alright.
I'll just pee. They can listen to it.
Alright.
That's just the worst bathroom.
I know.
In all my years of coming to this park, they've never once had a single gram of soap.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even put one of the pumps out.
Really?
Like, there's just never anything in there.
I remember the first time I ever went into that bathroom, I just went in there and then I just turned around. I was like, I can wait.
Yeah, it is sort of a dangerous vibe in that bathroom.
Yeah.
You could definitely get turned around,
Yes.
end up in a neighborhood that you don't want to be in that
Exactly.
bathroom. Get stabbed.
Stabbed by the poop monster. But The Day the Earth Stood Still, because I haven't seen the old one or the new one,
Uh-huh.
but Cynthia watched it before me, so she knew what was up.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
She's like, this is when it's going to stop spinning.
Yeah, I was kind of scared whenever it did stop moving. Have you ever seen the Vsauce video of like, what if the Earth stood still?
Yeah, I think I did at some point, like a long time ago, and all I remember is that everything would go woof.
Yeah, I always liked that visual of like everything just flying to the stage. Level.
Yeah, like a fucking atomic bomb.
Yes. But I also, because yesterday was Cynthia's birthday, and it was also at the same time our 2-year anniversary.
You guys have like a bunch of dates like around the exact same point.
Yeah, I know.
Like it just late middle October.
It's just like camps about of just doing stuff. It's pretty rough, but it is what we have to do. No.
Some guy's wrinkly ass wiener imprint on the
laid
concrete. Yeah.
He has like foot-long ball sack.
He has foot long. He tripped and fell
Yeah.
over his balls. He like stomped them into the concrete. He's like, oh no, not again.
But we watched Megamind.
Yeah.
She's never seen, or she saw it a long time ago.
Yeah,
and
it's been a long time since I've seen that too.
How can you not forget this cinematic masterpiece? And that was fun. And then the other movie that we watched like 3 movies because she was sick. We couldn't do anything. We watched Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I was impressed with the movie. It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those. Planes!
Yeah.
Fuck!
So annoying.
Take them down! But yeah, I mean, it's one of those that like a lot of people know and
Have you
stuff.
ever seen it?
Yeah, I think so. Like a long time ago.
I feel like, because I kind of was like ashamed of myself because I was like, oh, it says girls in the movie. I mean, it's for girls.
Yeah.
I won't watch it.
Girls and they're mean. I get that every single day. I don't need more of that.
So I kind of was like, I went in with like a very skeptical like overview of it. I was like, this is gonna suck. And it was actually just a really good movie.
Yeah.
And, like, I told somebody, like, wow. I feel ashamed of myself.
I had a similar experience when watching Boo, a Medea Halloween.
Yeah.
I am like it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like I mean you don't expect it to be kind of funny, but it is kind of funny actually. There are some funny bits.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's it's legitimately kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, really?
I've never seen a Medea movie.
Of course they have like the morals in the movie.
Yeah.
And like they're very much that kind of movie where they have like the Christian morals at the end.
Oh yeah, true.
But aside from that, and aside from like the plot, all the like there are some decent bits in those movies, honestly.
Yeah.
Some shockingly impressive bits.
I see. Maybe I'll have to give one a watch, but I don't know if I want.
Dude, Fousey 2 is in both Boo 1 and Boo 2.
That's impressive.
Yeah, they managed to get Fousey 2. It's crazy because he looks so fucking weird too.
Yeah.
He's a weird looking guy. You want to just sever off this particular recording real quick?
Yeah.
Just to split into two parts. Child alert! Child alert! A child is incoming! One time one of my cousins, he had the flu.
Yeah.
And so he had like had the flu earlier that day, and my aunt was like, okay, well, just keep in mind, he had the flu, or I don't know if he had the flu, but he just had like thrown up, I guess.
Yeah.
He had been sick. But there's a cup of Sprite, and it was his Sprite. But I was like, I mean, I could have one sip of Sprite.
It wouldn't hurt a little.
I could have one. The Sprite would kill any of the bacteria in the Sprite. Right? Like, there's no way. And so I took like one sip and I was like, that's good Sprite that this person who just vomited sipped out of. And then of course I threw up.
Threw up shortly later.
Yeah, not long after.
Yeah. Have you ever had the flu?
Maybe. I don't remember ever having
when
it.
I was a sophomore, I got it.
Mhm.
And it was like the most terrible experience because I had to have been sick maybe like the day before, and I was like, I can get through school.
Yeah.
And then like I was in the middle of wax period, just like laying my head down, like, oh, hey. And my teacher was like, Zach, do you have the flu? Because if you have the flu, you're not supposed to be in school. And I was like, no, my head just hurts a little bit. And then she's like, go home. I was like, okay. And then I went home and had the flu.
Yeah.
And I just laid in bed for like a week, just like dying. So,
I mean, they want you to not go to, like, they want you not to go to school. But like, if you don't go to school, then you'll get like behind on work and stuff.
exactly. And I remember because I came back to school after being out for like 4 days. And it was just, I probably had like 3 weeks of just like doing double the amount of work.
Yeah,
to catch
it's
up on
just
4
fucking
days.
garbage.
It was very frustrating.
Yeah, if you don't want people to come to school anyways, don't make their grades dependent on it.
Yeah, exactly. We just got a quiet moment of cars.
No more, they're coming back.
Yeah.
The onslaught continues. I remember one time whenever I was real small, I was throwing up a storm.
Yeah.
I was vomiting every which way. And I guess before it was vomiting, I don't know, I was eating a lot of fruit, drinking a lot of juice or something. And so my vomit tasted tasted like juice basically.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty much the whole time, like I would vomit into this bowl and then I'd drink it back up.
Oh no.
And vomit it up again. And I just kept doing that, like hiding at the foot of like hiding like behind like a coffee table with like my parents like sitting over on the other
They're,
side,
like,
like on the
reading the
they're like
newspaper,
they're like watching the TV. And I'm just in there drinking my vomit and throwing it back up and recycling
that's
it over
ridiculous.
and over again.
There's plenty of times, because like actually I've never drank my own vomit, but I think the funniest vomit story I have is, as a kid, I woke up in the middle of the night of being sick, and I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
And my first instinct was not to go to the toilet and throw up. It was to go all the way across the house to where my mom was sitting watching TV. I was like, Mom, I gotta throw up.
Yeah.
And she's like, why not go to the toilet? And like, I was like, oh, and I was like, it's happening. And like, I was running through the kitchen, and then I fell over and just vomited on the floor. And she yelled at me, and she's like, you stupid fuck, why would you do that? And I was like, I'm sorry. And she just made me go to bed, and she had to clean that vomit up. And I always felt really bad for that.
Falling on your stomach and it just squishes it all out.
It was pretty bad. But I haven't thrown up in a long time, and I'm kind of glad, because it's like, it's probably the least favorite thing I'd like to do, I guess.
I mean, it's quite nice afterward, though.
Yeah,
It's quite a relief.
that is true. I will say that after I throw up, it's like I'm immediately like, wow, the sickness is gone.
Yeah, it's so instantaneous. Like your body just makes you feel so good after vomiting. That's why that's why after every meal I throw up.
Yes, because then your body gives you the serotonin that you need, and you don't go fat.
And I get to feel good about my weight. I mean, I eat to throw up afterwards, though, of course. I'm not bulimic. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that would be unhealthy.
But it's like whenever mama birds feed their baby birds.
Yeah,
If you're
except
both
I'm
mama
doing that. I'm the mama and the baby bird.
Yes, it's quite beautiful, actually.
It is. It's sort of like, people say humans are just other animals.
Yeah.
But like, would a mama bird, like what other species of animal is both the mama and the baby bird?
Yeah, exactly. Except for humans, like Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. And then I could eat the mama bird and the baby birds too.
Yeah.
So consider that to be also a fact.
That would be pretty nice. Have we talked about Candyman on the podcast?
No, we didn't. I think that was I think in between the most recent ones.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So, in my absence, I guess that we can talk about why I haven't been able to be on the podcast for like the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, you have some fucking explaining to do.
Yeah, I know. Because like every time I had a reason to not be there, I'm like, wow, this looks like a really stupid excuse. But the first time was my dad needed me to go do something, and he lives like 2 hours away now, so I had to drive out there, and I was like, there's just no way I could make the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't remember the second time, but oh well. But the third time, which was last week, there was actually just a whole tornado
Yeah.
popped up in the middle of the night. And it's a funny story because I went to bed knowing that there were going to be storms coming by.
Yeah.
But I went to bed really late, at like 4 in the morning. And I was watching like the 4 a.m. news. And they were like, it's just rain, don't worry everybody.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, I can go to sleep and it'll be just like nice rain noises. And then I am rudely awoken by my phone screaming at me that there's a tornado warning. So I was like, okay. So I checked my phone and like I checked the radar and there was no tornado warning. So I was like, what? So I kind of like calmed down a bit, and suddenly my brother calls me and he's like, there's a tornado on its way. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I'm probably just going to kind of wait for it to pass by, and then I'll go back to sleep. And then cue me checking the radar again, and there's the tornado warning, like the trajectory of the tornado, and my house is right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And like, they were like, it's gonna be here in like 10 minutes. And I was like, well, fuck. So we had to like grab my dog, had to grab all our important stuff, and
put it outside to offer to the tornado to hope
yeah,
it
we were
leaves
like,
you alone.
please spare us.
Yeah.
But we just got in my car and we drove down the road to where Jacob lives, because we live on the second floor of an apartment. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait for a tornado just to hit me on the second floor, and then just like I blow away. But essentially, I went to Jacob's house and we all like were watching the news, and I have this bad habit of panicking because I want everyone to like be safe.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna miss us. And I was like, we don't know that yet. So like I panicked and I made everyone get into a bathroom. And it was just kind of like, it was hot.
Yeah.
It smelled like hot dog breath because my dog Nico and their dog were in the bathroom just panting. And I just felt kind of stupid afterwards because it completely missed us.
I mean, it was also like kind of a pussy tornado too.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the kind of storm that's supposed to like produce tornadoes.
Exactly.
And it just sort of happened to.
Yeah, but I think for me, like what caused it to accelerate so bad was because I was awoken by it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
didn't think it was that big of a deal until it was. And then I was like, I have to make up for my mistake by panicking.
Yeah. Yeah, I woke up. I was woken up and I got into the storm shelter for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So it was just not a good time. And by the time I got back home, it was like 7:30. And then Cynthia had to go to work. So I was like, okay, she needs to sleep. So I guess I got to stay up
Yeah.
so she doesn't like die. My bud doesn't feel like it works.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you really just look. I don't feel like I've ever used that. I don't even know if that crosswire existed.
Oh, really?
Like the buttons. Because I don't remember ever using it.
I mean, I pressed it and it just felt solid, like it didn't do anything. See, that one moved.
Yeah, that's just not satisfying. The whole point of those is to have a little button that makes like
Yeah, exactly.
thing.
But, so those are all my reasons.
Those are exact 13 reasons why.
Yeah. So that's why I took I told Wilson, I was like, I'm going to be here. Like, I have nothing to do that day.
Yeah.
And then I thought my girlfriend had COVID, and I was like, this can't be happening.
that should be a wild series of events.
Yeah. But I made it out today.
Yeah.
But during the many weeks of us not recording the podcast,
We've seen 2 movies.
yes.
Which is funny. We've gotten together twice. It's not
Yeah.
this podcast at a time.
It's just time constraints. But the
Yeah.
2 movies that we saw, both 2 cinematic masterpieces, I guess.
Yes.
We watched Candyman,
Yeah.
and then we watched the new Venom movie. So, which one did you like more, Wilson?
Which one did I look? Well, like I'm not going to deny that Candyman is a good movie, but I don't think it has the sort of cultural significance or staying power that Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage will
I
have.
know. I was certainly amazed by the sheer awesomeness of Venom 2.
They're just like, isn't really, so like, Candyman had some like decent performances, but I don't really think that there's one that matches Woody Harrelson's performance as Cletus Cassidy
Yes.
in the new Venom film. Which these are films.
Yes.
These are films that we're talking about. There are people, Scorsese, Denis Villeneuve.
Yes.
Those people, they're like, oh, superhero movies aren't films. And it's like, okay, well, have you seen Let There Be Carnage? Have you seen there's literal poetry in the movie.
Yes.
Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, several times throughout the movie, recites different poetry, and it's like, that sort of cinematic and beautiful language is not something that you would see. And for instance, I don't remember any poetry in Arrival.
No.
Or King of Comedy. I don't remember that actually happening in those films. I remember those films being very boring and making me want to go to sleep.
Yes.
Making me want to eat a big pile of of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Just make a big pile of them, cut them into triangles, eat them, and just pass out.